Yo, what's going on guys, Impulse here and welcome back to today's video where we're going to be starting the Pokemon price stack event. So I put it out there and people wanted to battle, that was good. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there'll be a video down in the description, you can check that out and get on board basically. It's pretty simple, short video, so go and check it out if you haven't already. As for the meat of today's video, I'm going to be adding one guy to the price stack. Now that I've done that, I can introduce our first challenger. His name's Gaming Gator, and he's also known as Zander. So you can see our teams on the screen. I'm going to be leading out with a Tapu Fini. I've got a Dragonite, a Hooper Unbound, Chansey, Landorus, and Venusaur. So it's a pretty try-hard team. So I don't want to lose in the first battle. It was something I whipped together and it's been doing pretty well so far. As for my opponent, he's got a Zoroark, a Sharpedo, Incineroar, Alolan Muck, Greninja and Bisharp, so he's running a mono dark team, which is pretty interesting. Before we start, I need to give a massive shout out to Starline Onslaught, because without him I wouldn't be bringing you the videos with the quality that they're at right now. So what I want you guys to do for me after the video is finished is head over to his channel, smash that subscribe button and definitely check his content out. He does a lot of battling videos, he does live streams every Friday, and if you win him, you get a Pokemon. He's a little over 130 subs at the moment and he definitely deserves more, so go and show that support to him please. Now without any further ado, let's get into the battle. So Zander issues his challenge. He's fighting for his one mon and I'm going to lead out with Tapu Fini. And he leads out with Bisharp ? So the Misty Terrain's gonna set up and I've got Terrain Extender, so that's 8 turns of Ignorance. And he's gonna withdraw this guy and send out his Muck. So Muck comes in and I'm gonna fire off a Moonblast because Tapu Fini is strong against his entire team. Figured it would do some decent damage even though it's neutral against Muck, and it does, and I get the drop, which is pointless. So now I don't want to receive a punch to the face, so I'm gonna go out into Lando, resist his attack and drop his attack slightly with Intimidate. So we get that drop and then he goes for a Gunk Shot and gets some decent damage off us, but unfortunately he gets the poison even though we're in the terrain. So I'm not quite sure if that was Poison Touch and you know the coding for that or whatever, but it's the first secondary effect I've ever seen go off in the terrain. So anyway, he's going to withdraw and go out into Bisharp. And I'm going to go with a no holds barred Earthquake. I've got a Choice Scarf and I'm just going to put in massive damage. He's got the Focus Sash, so he's going to be able to survive that. And we see that it's Zoroark, so now I don't have to care about the Sucker Punch coming and I can just go straight for another attack and know that I can take this thing down. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I know that my Lando's on a timer, but there's not much I can do about that. I'm just going to get as much damage off on his entire team with it while I can. I've got two guys that are pretty strong against his entire team. So we're going to be chipped away again for a little bit more poison, and it's definitely starting to rack up now. And Sharpedo is going to come in. So I'm going to predict that Protect, which is a pretty safe play to make. And I'm going to go out into Tapu Fini. Even if he doesn't protect, I've got the wall and I've got the resistance, and he actually just goes straight for a waterfall. So it's a good play on his part. I take that nicely, and he's going to have to withdraw again. Muck's going to come back out again, and seeing how much it did last time, we know it's going to do a nice amount. So I'm just going to hammer away and get some good damage on that thing. One more will take it out, but I don't know if I'm faster than it. I'm pretty sure I'm not. So I'm going to switch out and go back into Lando just to take a hit yet again. I'm going to get that Intimidate drop and it's going to make it so I'm not going to be taking as much obviously. Unfortunately, he goes for his Z move this time, and that's something I wasn't expecting. So he's going to power up his Z move and he's going to proceed to get some mighty damage going. Goes for an Acid Downpour. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do. As we can see, it does some good damage, even though it's resisted and he's on a -1 attack. And of course, we're going to take the poison as well. So not exactly the safest switch that I thought it was going to be. Thought I was going to be on considerable more HP. And he decides to preserve his Muck and go out into Sharpedo. So I'm guessing he's foddering it at this point as I go for the earthquake. And either that or he didn't think it was going to do as much as it did, because we get a one shot and that's going to take out Sharpedo. So Poison's going to finish us off, and that's not a good time for Lando. So now I'm looking at my team and I'm deciding what I want to bring out as the terrain disappears. It doesn't really have much on his team that could do status anyway. But I decide that Mr. Sprinkles is going to come in because I kind of predicted the Greninja. I'm hoping it's not got extrasensory as I go for my Mega Revolution. So I Mega Evolve up and he goes for an Ice Beam. We see that it's gonna use its ability, gonna get that stab up, but because of our thick fat it's not gonna do too much, and we're gonna be able to Giga Drain that HP back. So we're gonna go all the way back up to full, pretty much, and that's gonna be good for us. He's gonna withdraw because he needs to preserve that for later, I'm guessing, and he goes out into Incineroar to tank the hit. Unfortunately we predict that switch, and we're gonna go for Leech Seed just to get some damage on this thing over time, depending on what he wanted to go into. So that takes a nice amount. Incineroar's got a mighty amount of HP, and we're going to be able to stall this thing out a little. I know that I've got the thick fat which can tank it, but I don't really want to take unnecessary damage on it, so I'm going to go for the resisted hit, go out into Finny and get that terrain back up. So we get the terrain back up, he's still Leech Seeded, and he goes for a Flare Blitz. We're physically invested, of course, it's not going to do a great deal of damage, and he's going to take a little bit of recoil, and then the seeds are going to drain even more away from him and replenish our HP, which is always nice. So I've got no problem going for another attack. He's going to switch out and he's going to go out into Greninja. I'm not quite sure what he was doing, if he was sacking it off or not, but I'm going to go for the Moonblast and I'm going to take this thing out. Personally, I would have kept Greninja over Incineroar, but that's just me. So he is going to go out into Muck, which is in shambles. It's on like low HP. And again, I don't really want to take a hit. So I'm going to switch out and I'm going to go back into Mr. Sprinkles because it's neutral and I know that I can't be poisoned by the Gunk Shock scam in the terrain. So I'm going to take a considerable amount of HP. I actually take more than I thought I was going to take there. But I'm going to go for the Leech Seed and he's going to evade it as he proceeds to Crunch. And that's not going to do as much. He's going to get the defense drop and I'm going to have to switch out. I go out into Swish the Dragonite as he goes for his Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot fires off and it does a decent amount of damage, but we had multi-scale so we know it's going to be doing more this time. I don't want to take that chance, I don't want to receive any more poisoning, so I'm just going to straight up EQ. Earthquake's going to be able to take it out with ease considering how much HP it's on. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. So he's got Bisharp next and I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. Unfortunately he's faster than us and I'm hoping he doesn't get the flinch, and he doesn't. So we're going to Earthquake this thing and yeah, we can all know what to expect from that. It's going to take it straight down. So Bisharp goes down and yeah, his last guy I believe is Incineroar. So I'm just going to go straight for an Earthquake, nothing to fear. And that's going to be able to take Incineroar out, and that's going to be the game. So I'm going to add a second Mon right now to the price stack, and we're going to see what that's going to be. But before that, I want to say a good game to Zander. It was an interesting team, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next person has to bring. As for the Mon that's getting added, you're going to see this little guy added to the price pot. So before I get out of here, I want to remind you to go and check out Starline Onslaught, link is down in the description. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video or learnt something useful, go ahead and mash that like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters!